G'day. Today we're going to have a chat to a van life couple who are touring Australia in a 1982 T3 Volkswagen Poptop. Let's go. Say g'day. Knock, knock, knock.
Hello. There you go.
G'day, how are we going?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Yourself?
How you going? Very well.
What are you up to?
Enjoying this beautiful beach?
Yeah, I've been here all day. Got here about
6 a.m.?
6 a.m. Haven't left.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a horrible spot to spend.
Yeah, can't complain.
Did you get out for a surf or anything?
I did, yeah, this morning.
What are you riding, a longboard or?
Yeah, I took the log out today.
Yeah.
Got a few others on the roof, but definitely needed the extra volume today, that's for sure.
Nice. So you're from Coffs?
Yeah.
And where are you from?
San Diego, California.
Beauty.
Yeah.
And you've what, met in Sydney?
Met in Sydney.
Yeah.
And the van's been going well?
I had a couple of hiccups already. The fuel pump stopped working, so that was then an NRMA call out, overnighting outside the mechanics. And then we already had him booked in for some preventative maintenance in Byron, which then turned into a can of worms when it came to replacing one thing, then realizing we also needed to do more, to do more, to do more.
It's all part of owning a vintage van though.
Yeah.
Have a lot of breakdowns and you kind
Deal
of
with it.
Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he's fixed it up enough.
I hope so. He's running really well now.
So he's a boy, obviously.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Vance. Seemed like a little happy little boy, so we've always named him Vance.
How'd you find him?
We found him on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know how long we were looking, probably
Quite a while. We were like, oh, we're just like, oh, here's some cute, like, older ones, just having a look here and there. We just found this one. I sent it to Dad and he was like, it's pretty awesome, but just check it out, and checked out a couple things, and then within the week we were like, yeah, we'll get it.
There's just something so special about, I think, owning a vintage van, and it's sort of like you own a piece of history.
So you converted Vance yourself?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a similar fit out. He was just the old standard fit out that was in it.
We like the setup, but we just want it to be done obviously by ourselves,
Yeah.
and done the way that we want it. So we just ripped it all out. Glenn thankfully knows a little bit about
with
woodworking,
woodwork.
and I know how to paint.
Yeah. We ended up tearing out the rear-facing bench seat and center console and redoing that, redoing the cupboard doors, redoing like the bumpers. We ended up just getting a bit carried away with just like, we wanted to just make sure it was right.
Well, why don't you walk us through it?
Yeah.
Give us a tour.
Let's do it. So this is our pull-out kitchenette. So because it is so small, we didn't really want to cook at all in the van. This is our little leather straps we have, so we just fold these away.
Yeah, that's a really cool idea.
Like so.
We just went to a little leather craft store.
Yeah.
They were $5 offcuts.
Yeah,
right.
just offcuts. They gave us a bunch, and then we just did the little punches ourselves just from Bunnings.
Yeah.
$5 or something. It ends up being on like a overall piano hinge. So we end up lifting this all the way up. We end up sliding this out. And then we also have where we can put a little extension
I was wondering what that was for.
on the end there as well.
That's sweet.
So
It's pretty sturdy.
that way it actually, yeah, we're stoked with that as well. So this lifts up. The front part acts as our pantry in the front here. This is like sort of our most regularly used pantry type stuff. So our bigger things, we've got some rice, pasta, coffee, and then just herbs, spices, various little things like that for cooking. And then in the back part is where we keep our stove.
Okay.
So then if we want to use it, we just lift it out. And that way we can just connect up the gas, turn it on when we need to, and then that way we cook out here. We've still got a bit of serving space here. And then also our kitchen counter inside as well.
Yeah,
so
cool.
That's like my favorite part of this. I'm stoked with how it turned out.
So you just put all that together. What is it, plywood?
Yeah, this one, we wanted to make it nice and light. Heavy duty drawer runners, because we also have some extra storage too. So we just have a standard nice heavy duty piano hinge along the back here. We've got some storage where we keep our little extension for the table. A little coffee percolator.
Yeah. What is your 12 volt setup?
We've got our alternator that comes from the main battery, which is just underneath my seat there.
Yep.
Goes down into a 105 amp hour battery.
Yep.
We've got a 600 watt inverter here.
Cool.
And then we've also got our little PWM solar charge controller that we've then got a solar blanket to be able to lay out. But
How big's the blanket?
It's only 120 watt. It's worked pretty well, but just running a fridge and everything else, particularly a lot of camera gear, laptops and stuff.
Yeah.
We just need more. So I think we'll go with a 300 watt one on the roof, and we should be sitting pretty
Nice.
So this is the original sink that was with it as well. The original pump just goes straight underneath through the floor.
That's a nice, neat little fridge.
Original fridge we had was from Vance when we bought him. So
Right.
it was a 3-way fridge, but it just took way too much power. In these setups, the standard sort of 12 volt top open fridges don't really work.
Yeah.
There's not space for it, for something that large to be top opening. So we got a 60 litre one that's been really good, way less power strain. The only drawer we have in Vance is our top one. We made it really big because it is the only drawer we had, and we didn't want to have to mess about with a lot of the different things. So that holds everything, like all of our utensils, any knick-knacky things. We just have like a little latch here, just to keep it secure.
Yeah, and that works?
Yeah, it's great. Then we've just got like our plates, cups, things like that. Again, we used to living simply because when we moved back from the States, we were starting from scratch. At home we had like 2 big bowls, 2 big plates. I don't even think we had wine glasses.
No,
I don't even think we had glasses. We just had drink bottles and cut. So we literally have 2 plates, 2 bowls, 1 big mixing bowl.
That's it. So if anybody comes, if you invite anyone over for tea, bring your own plates.
Yeah, bring your
cup.
BYO. And then underneath here, which is more covered up, is where we sort of keep our big pan, 1 pot, and I think like chopping boards and just like towels and anything else. Everything just slips nicely in there, and it's nice and stable, so there's no chance of stuff sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
Just moving to the back, we have our closet. Oh yeah, we'll get this out.
Yep, that's where you keep all your clothes.
So that's all of our clothes.
It's pretty impressive. It's not a very big
I was
closet.
nervous about that.
Believe it or not, I'm shocked at how well it's done. Packing cells help for just keeping our stuff separate, particularly in the bottom, because it goes quite deep, probably another like just under a foot maybe down.
Yep.
This was another late addition that we had that I added, that basically
Cool.
just got little like toothbrushes, toothpaste, stuff like that. Chargers. That's one of the most annoying things is chargers. We have so many different chargers to things.
Where do you keep
and
them?
So where do you keep them? We had all these spots for like this will keep this and this and this, and then we were like, crap. So thankfully Kendall had a bunch of these little bags that we have just organised. So they've been the best thing I think we've ever kept. It's just nice and neat, everything. And it means when we open this, if anything's moved around, it's not going to fly out. It's just a bag that we can just pop back in there. But that was, again, we're making the most of every little inch we have.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some extra storage here, actually, that I should show you as well. I'm forgetting about my house. Underneath here, I made a little foot locker. So we've just got various bits and pieces.
Perfect.
We've got a nice, like, fold-out table as well. Bits like that. But it also acts as a bench seat. So if we want, we can pull it out. And then the stock standard storage that the T3s have, which are underneath the rock and roll bed, which we don't really transform much just because we live here, so there's no point in changing it to a seat all the time. But it's sort of under there where we just keep any extra stuff that's not that regular to be used.
Why did you think about getting into van life to start with?
I think because we were living in Sydney and just hooked into full-time jobs, we sort of, after a while, just got pretty sick of it. I mean, we're young, so it sounds silly, like typical millennials. You
can't keep a job. We were just paying so much money to live in Sydney.
In like a one-bedder sort of thing?
Yeah, like we had a little studio apartment, paying so much money just to rent. So we constantly were like, on a weekend, we just left Sydney. We were like, why are we paying so much to work in Sydney to then leave every weekend? It just doesn't make sense. So we just thought, screw it. Let's get out of it.
Talk me through the transition from your studio apartment to the van.
So surprisingly, the space didn't bother us. I think a lot of people think that when you then go from a home to van life, that that adjustment of moving somewhere so small and so tiny, that was fine actually.
Yeah, it wasn't really an issue.
It was fine.
What did you do with all your stuff?
Got rid of it.
That was one of the most liberating things. That was just,
we didn't
have much to begin with, but just getting rid of it all was so freeing.
I was selling stuff like 4 months out.
We had about a month left in Sydney. I came home from work and the couch was gone.
It's just gone.
Sold that. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess we don't have a couch now.
You've done an awesome job with it. It's
Yeah,
really,
thank
really
you.
good. Really good.
Thank you.
We're stoked.
Yeah, it's been a lot of ups and downs we've found from the very start. A lot of
crazy.
ups and downs, but we did realize how dependent we are on the weather. Didn't think too much about that, but when it's, I think about a week ago, we had 2 weeks straight of rain. And when this is your entire indoor living space and you're stuck in it for 2 weeks straight, it's a little bit.
So what do you do?
We went to the public library and we got a lot of work
Yeah, we went to the
done.
library,
We watched
grocery stores.
Yeah, watched a lot of Netflix.
Yeah.
Just cried.
It was crazy.
We created a website to document our travels.
Kind of like a blog, I guess.
Yeah, because I think through our trip, we do want to document more, I guess, travel photography and videos. Obviously, that was a little bit hard to do in Sydney, but I think through this trip, we want to focus a lot on tourism and travel and show people why you should be holidaying in Australia. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think photography and videography is a bit of a passion of both of ours. So we're going to be doing it regardless of whether or not we're doing it to make money.
Yeah.
But it is nice that it has now become a way that helps sustain us on the road. So
Definitely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
How do you get online?
actually, so what we originally thought was that we'd have to get some type of Wi-Fi system. And I know a lot of people do that, but then we just went to, where did we go? Telstra?
Telstra,
We went to Telstra and just got a pretty big data plan for both of our phones, and we just hotspot.
What do you do for fun? What's your hobbies?
Well, when we're not working and it's not raining, we are just outdoors. Our entire trip mostly is going to be along the coast, so we're always at the beach, in the ocean. Glenn's surfing. I'm trying to surf. Hiking, we like to do a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of hikes.
Anything outdoors.
The core of this, we're staying to the coast because we just want to surf as much as we can with as little people as possible.
Awesome. Sounds like a great way to live.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge?
Ooh.
Weather.
Yeah.
It's just the weather.
And then I also thought that the spacing issue, because we're literally this close to each other all the time, I thought that would be really hard.
So where have you been staying?
Sometimes we stay at campgrounds, and then sometimes we try to free camp where we can.
Yeah.
It has been hard along the East Coast to free camp, which I
Really
wasn't
tough.
expecting at least. So we've stayed at a lot of campgrounds.
What's the coolest thing you've got on the van?
Probably our awning.
Our awning.
We knew we wanted an awning and we needed an awning. It's this really cool sort of like beige and cream striped.
Nice.
It's very
Like
vintage
it's so
looking.
sick. It just like finishes him so nicely. It's probably our favourite. That and the kitchenette, I'm stoked.
The kitchenette. I'm proud of you for building
that worked
I
pretty
would
well.
say.
That's probably the thing that gets the most comments too, because when we like pulled up somewhere like here, or like making coffee and breakfast this morning, it's always a talking point of kind of like, oh, that's sick. Like, oh, can we have breakfast kind of thing? So,
What would be your number one tip to anybody thinking about taking the plunge and going into van life?
do it, number one.
Yes.
Definitely do it.
And I would say, if you can, do weekend trips in a van. So maybe before you buy a van or after you buy a van, somehow do little trips away so you can figure out what you like and don't like, how you live in a van, what your preferences are for certain things, because you can assume all you want and do an entire van build out, and then you go to live in it and realize that it's not at all what you like.
Can anyone live in a van?
I think so.
I think a lot of it will come down to your mindset massively. I think you have to be open. You have to be open to adapt to things, and you have to be open to discomfort. You know, normally in life you'll have like some lows and some highs, but they're all sort of here. But with this, it'll be lower lows, but the highs are so much higher as well. So it's a trade-off. It's very much like the magnitude,
up and down all the time.
magnitude and frequency increases, but it gets you to have some pretty awesome experiences. But you then also just have to cop the negative and know that that's part of it.
All right, well, thanks a lot for introducing us to Vance, taking a bit of time, and
Our pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
giving
for
us a
having
tour.
Yeah.
One last question. Would you ever ditch van life and move back into a house?
Eventually.
We will. Yeah, the idea of a house will be fun.
We know that this isn't permanent, but we know that we have to do this.
Because we've done something like this, we're pretty much open to anything that we decide would be valuable to enrich our lives, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're pretty open to it. I think we're pretty chill when it comes to doing anything, whatever our hearts desire, as long as I say, it's spontaneous, but then thought out before we actually act on it. So.
All right, well, we'll see you in another 10 years and you'll be in a bigger van.
Yeah, who knows, probably. All have to.
Awesome, well, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Our pleasure.
Best of luck on your next travels.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
See ya.
See ya.